situated.
So how close do you have to sit to this thing?
You
Like,
just get
way
all up as
close.
close as you want to.
Yeah, you can scooch right up.
Yep. The closer, the better.
Just be like,
I think it probably throws people off looking at where you sit and where I sit and how far away I am and how close you are.
You're a lot closer than you used to be.
Yeah, well, you moved me closer. But one of us projects
okay.
a lot.
Not me.
Not him.
That's why I
So
get nice and close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably going to have to be
Yeah.
me. Just be like,
Yeah, so you
okay.
get
Yeah,
right up.
I'm just going to go
Oh,
ahead
you're
and
going to...
And then I'll
slide that up there.
Okay.
I'll stay a little bit back.
And
because-
I can even turn you up over here.
yeah.
Wait, you're turning me up more?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm
we
just
do
going
want
to
to be able to
whisper.
hear you.
Don't-
You are the
oh,
guest.
what?
Just gonna whisper.
Is this an ASMR episode?
I don't have an inside voice. I can't be honest.
This is graphic design ASMR.
Yes.
You're the best.
Click. 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 All right. I think we're ready. Sue's
we
not
ready?
ready. She's going to hack her lungs out.
Yeah.
It won't be me, guys. Oh, man.
Right. Okay, do
Are you
it.
ready for this?
I was
Y'all
born
ready
ready.
for this?
If you have ever uttered the phrase, "Friends, don't let friends watch the non-extended edition," and if you know exactly what I'm talking about, you may be a student of osmology.
Hello and welcome, fellow osmologists, to Osmology, the show where we find awesome things, say the word awesome multiple times, and then dish them up to you. Just for you. My name is Sue.
And I'm Vince. In this episode, we are sitting down with our very own, this is my title, but it probably should be her official title, our junior designer extraordinaire, Kylie.
Yay!
Welcome to the show.
I like
Thanks,
the idea that
guys.
makes it sound like she's like a very tiny, like a 7-year-old. And she has like a badge
Yes.
that says junior designer.
Oh, for sure.
And
That's-
just
Yes.
crayons.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I do, guys.
That is actually.
Yep.
Probably,
That's what I do here.
people wouldn't know the difference. Based on your voice, they probably think you are actually just a
Yeah,
7-year-old.
I am.
Crayons.
Secretly, yes. It's not
Secret's
a secret
out.
anymore. Yeah.
Kylie's
You heard
secrets.
it here first, folks.
Yep.
Breaking news
Yes.
on the podcast.
Yes, don't tell HR we have a 7-year-old working.
Please don't. Please don't. Kylie is a student apprentice in our department, and we're so happy to have her. So you hail from Granton.
Yes.
What year in school now?
I'm a senior. this
Senior.
year. Yeah.
Ooh. And when did you start with us? I was trying to remember, and
Wow, thanks.
it's just
Vince.
been
Thanks.
it's just been so long
She
and
really
so
feels-
good.
she feels
I
It's-
the
feel
love
very
right now.
special.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels like forever. So
Okay. I started in October.
okay.
Yeah.
October.
Now
That's
you
what I was going to
remember.
guess. I wouldn't actually believe it. Give you a really hard time.
But
But
October feels like the month to start in our department.
yeah,
So,
yeah. If you're a designer,
yeah. Designers. Yeah.
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 Why is that?
Because that's when Ben started.
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, I was confused.
Yeah. So actually, that's the thing. I thought you started in October, but every time I was like, maybe that's just because I'm thinking Ben started in October.
Yeah, right?
Maybe I just think everybody starts in October because Ben
It's
started.
a
in
graphic designer thing.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
start in October.
Yeah, apparently. They're born in September and then they start work in October.
Well,
Yeah. Were you born in September?
No.
Oh, wow.
I was born in
We'll cut that
June.
part out.
Yeah, okay.
So, but what I mean is you're a month old.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. You were born and then you start immediately with us.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. But you screwed up the whole conceit. So thanks, Kylie.
I'm
Good work.
sorry.
Good work. So before we get to the show,
The show.
regular part of the show, have you been listening to the podcast?
I have. I did. I listened to the first episode.
Excellent. So then I don't have to prep you, but I will prep you anyway.
Okay.
That at the end, we are going to have our creative soup segment.
We're not going to call it Creative Soup.
Yep. Oh, we
Kylie.
are.
That is
Until
not
the
the
end
name
of
it.
time. For
That is
sure.
not. We're still working
Definitely
on. We're
happening.
workshopping that name.
Okay.
So
Not
if you have
workshopping.
suggestions,
Set in stone.
it is not Creative
Carve
Soup
it.
by any means. It's not.
So,
It's
just a
bad.
heads up, be thinking of something awesome to share at
Okay.
the end.
I'll be ready.
Okay,
Sweet.
Bring it.
Okay. The first thing I wanted to talk about. So, at the time of this recording,
En este momento.
February 12th, 2020.
I'm glad that you checked.
Yeah.
See,
Gotta be sure.
I don't know what day it is. I don't know what day you start. It's just the whole time.
Yeah.
what even are
thing.
days? What is time?
Do they
That-
exist? What?
It's all. It's all just a social construct.
Yeah.
Right?
All of time.
Einstein's out there somewhere going light speed. He's
I'm going to
eventually
put a
going to
pin
show
in
up.
that. I'm going to put a pin in that. Remind me to say something about Einstein because that's a thing for the future.
Hold on, I brought a pen. Nope, that one's yours.
That's my pen.
Look at I brought my version of your pen.
Okay.
Uh,
We're just doing a lot of pen talk.
Yeah,
podcast,
I
Kylie.
noticed that. Yeah.
Just a lot of pen talk. It's mostly about pens.
Yes. Okay, so I made a note of that to come back to that. But where was I? Yes, where I wanted to start was so I'm like, why was I even talking about time? At the time of this recording, the first episode has come out.
Yes.
So our second episode has not.
It's in the can.
But if you are listening to this now, not you, but
I mean,
you,
I
the
am, but,
listener.
like,
you will already have access to our second episode, but it is not out yet.
Right.
But the first one is, which means you have seen our show artwork, which was done by none other than Kylie.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I want to talk just a little bit about the process, your process for creating that specifically. And where it starts is we needed a logo.
Mm-hmm.
We needed a podcast logo. And you, Sue, I'm looking at Sue, but the audience can't tell
They
that.
can't tell that you're talking to
So
them.
now I'm
It's true.
transitioning from looking at Kylie to looking at Sue.
Right. Hi, Vince.
Hi. You had the idea for the style. Tell us a little
Right.
bit about that.
Oh, okay. I get to take credit for this?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, I'll take credit for this. So you're talking about that other podcast.
Yeah.
So there is another podcast that I listen to, as we have previously discussed. There are a lot of other podcasts I listen to. Specifically, the one that we're talking about, I have been irritating Vince for nigh on a year because I like their art so much. And actually, so it's a comedian who I don't know why. I think I showed you this. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you, but I will.
We're
It's
explaining
okay,
it to
yes.
you,
It
listener.
is to use.
Friend.
To use.
To
Yeah.
use,
To
to use
y'alls.
guys.
Use guys. So the podcast, he has, I don't know, a million different podcasts. There's one that I listen to that every single show has unique illustrated art for. There's another that I don't listen to, but he also does, that's also in his Instagram feed, that has illustrated art of the guests every single time he releases a new podcast, and then with a little quote along with it. And they're two different artists that do them.
Okay.
They are definitely two completely different. So if you're scrolling through his Instagram feed, which I do, you can see, like, you can very easily visually see, like, it's that podcast, it's this other
Sure,
podcast,
yeah.
and you know what they are. And I just love that, like, the illustrated style, and I love the sort of immediacy of having something different every single time. And so this is why I'm going to officially ask that you never leave.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
we're not
leave. I have to
asking.
stay.
We're telling you.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't ever leave.
Right.
Oh.
That actually, they're locking the doors right now.
Okay, I'm not gonna go to college. I'm just
Ka-chunk.
gonna-
No,
yep.
you don't need
No.
college. We need
Co-
you.
Yeah.
Is what.
We'll give you all the education you need.
Right. Right.
For sure.
It's
yes.
the school of hard knocks, Kylie, and you're enrolled. I don't know who that. I didn't even like that person, whoever that person was. Get rid of her.
Cut that. No, we're not going to cut that.
Cut that
So
out.
Sue, specifically with that idea, but with the show name, with the style idea came to you. Where did it go from there? Tell us about that.
So basically, I started with the logo, and I wanted to get the look and feel of the sciencey theme. So that's why I did the little beaker. I guess for the listeners, you don't know what it looks like. So I had a beaker, and it says osmology, and from there, I used the color purple to represent, our marketing department. And after that, when I started the illustrations, I kind of based it off the logo a little bit with the colors. So I took the photo, and I kind of did a sketch first, then traced that, redrew some stuff to make it more caricature-like, and to make it more, what's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerated. But yeah.
So, are you trying to say that's not what we actually look like? Is that what you're telling people right now?
Yes.
That's
yeah.
our. But his forehead is fully that large, right?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And the eyebrow is
And the
definitely
eyebrow
yes.
is like midway,
Yeah.
up almost to his hairline.
Yes.
I cannot tell
that's
you
for sure.
how many times my family members have commented on my triangular shaped eyebrows, and you nailed it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Like you,
yeah.
Yeah.
you highlighted exactly the thing they comment on. So
Perfect.
well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you showed it to us, and okay, you were not more than what am I even trying to say? Words. You were more than a little hesitant to show us.
I was. I don't know, because I've never done any caricature-like things before. I've always done really realistic style stuff, and I was just nervous because I wanted it to be perfect for the podcast, so...
That's exactly the kind of energy we want you to bring to everything, that you want it to be perfect for us
Yes.
specifically.
And I sat there looking at it, and I think I made you nervous because you're like, "What is he thinking?"
You were, you
I'm
were
like,
staring at it
I
for the
was
longest
shell
time.
shocked. I'm like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen."
And it has my face on it. How is that possible?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I was just like, in my
know.
head, going, "That's so cool. That's so cool." And I look over, and you're like shrinking into your chair, like, "Oh no, it's terrible. It's terrible."
I know, because I showed it to you, and you were just, like, standing there staring at it. I'm like, is it getting worse as you're looking at it?
Yeah, that's what you asked me.
Yes, I know.
What? No, it's getting better.
Okay.
So, also, so not just the logo, but then the accompanying social stuff, kind of setting up some structure around that, so we can, when we do the episodes, we can easily pop whatever artwork into the social stuff to get that out. So there was a number of things that you did to go along with that number of what I don't know what the word I'm trying to find is. Anyway, pieces. We'll call them pieces. There were a number of pieces, files that you had to do.
Yeah.
And I felt like the more you let me talk to you, the longer that list of files grew. And leading up to, so this would have been a couple days before we were going to post the said first episode. We realized in the first edition of the artwork, you had that full Beaker logo with the illustration, and like, we probably won't be able to see that very well in the podcast show,
Yeah,
because that's a lot
it's
smaller.
Small, yeah.
So I made the suggestion to what is there now, just have the word itself with the,
I
the
know
look
where
on
this
your
is
face.
going.
So, after I suggested that, and you were thinking through making sure you had the list of everything that still had to get done to be ready for posting, I offered to help with that.
You what now? Oh, is that coming to your next?
Yeah, that's coming. I haven't
your
told
next
you
bullet
about this
point?
yet.
Okay.
man.
Oh, I'm so
wait,
excited.
Oh,
This
no.
was-
I don't know about this.
Sue hasn't heard this yet?
No.
You didn't tell
No,
her?
I saved it
saved it for the
specifically for
podcast.
this moment.
It's like
Oh
a
my
present
gosh.
for me, Kylie. I'm so excited.
So what I offered, so I had probably 15 minutes left before I was going to leave for the day. I knew there was a number of things. So I was like, oh, and a thing that I have done for Ben or Alex, like if I have an idea exactly of what I had in my head, I'm like, I know enough about Illustrator to be able to do it if I know, if I have the picture in my head, right? So I said, I can do that part. Like, I can do that, get the word on the illustration. It's all in the drive, whatever. And your response was priceless. She looked at me and said, no.
Well, I was like, no, it's okay. I got it. I have an hour and a half left. I can do this. And then he's like, no, really, I can help him. I'm like, no.
She yelled at me.
That's
it was
fantastic.
great.
Did you see in her a kindred spirit at that moment?
I literally
like?
said to her, as I was laughing, I said, you have displayed exactly the right amount of control that we are used to in this department.
That's the precise amount of control we like to have. All of it.
The tone was like, how dare you suggest you can work on my thing?
I mean, it wasn't that. I just didn't want you to have to stay. And I was like, I have time. I can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Sometime when he's working on a video, just tap on his shoulder and be like, do you want me just to take it from here? And just see what he does.
Yes.
See how he handles that.
Yes.
Be like, sure, here you go. How about it?
No. The files are already uploaded. So, no. So it's the part you like. Nope, sorry.
So I just had to point that out.
That's hilarious.
We need more of that.
Oh, okay.
So,
all of
she was
that.
so apologetic too.
I
It was
like
so-
afterwards, I felt really bad. I was
it's
just
like,
I'm
no,
sorry.
don't feel bad. Please, more of that.
Just yell all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think that means he misses having me in that office with him? Don't have a controlling, yelling
No
woman in here.
comment.
Just yell at me and try and control me a little bit more. We got to talk to Alex. She is not stepping it up. She could do it. She's got it in her, but she's not stepping it up.
Just dropping the ball on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we have to get Kylie to do it
Yeah.
with her little junior designer badge on.
And my crayons.
And you're-
Yeah.
So like you will respect my authority.
I'm going to blow my nose.
Oh, see, I was prepared.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for being prepared for my emergency.
For nose emergencies.
Yes.
Are you making notes?
Yeah.
What you doing? What you doing?
I'm making a note to cut that part out.
The part where you blow your nose?
Yeah.
Good idea.
Oh, okay.
What about this part here that we're talking about?
Yeah, well, I'll have to keep listening and cut that out too.
Okay,
darn.
So thank you.
You're welcome. So Kylie,
Yes.
now that we are, at least for the moment, done gushing over the artwork, I think we're done gushing for now.
Oh, for now.
Like every
Yeah.
time you do it, like I want to like hug you, but then also punch you, and it just is such a mix of
All these
emotions.
emotions. Yes.
Yeah,
It's that cute aggression thing.
it's cute aggression. I get cute aggression from it.
Heavy on the
and-
aggression.
Yeah, I mean everything I do is a little heavy on the aggression. And I just try to keep it together. So let's transition and talk about how you got to where you are. Not necessarily on our team, but like, what got you interested in graphic design? How did you get to be the wunderkind that you are that can actually do our illustrations for us, because it's only a thing we've dreamt of for like forever. And so where did you start? Why are you doing graphic design? What's going on?
Well, I started with crayons in my junior badge. No.
And this is last week.
And you never
Yeah.
left.
So I've always loved art and drawing. I never really got into graphic design until last year, basically, because I took a
Like
graphic.
October?
Yes. October. Yep, that's when it happened. Right when I started. No, like I took a graphic design class because I was like, I'll just check it out. Because before then, honestly, this is going to sound horrible, but I never considered graphic design actual art. I was like,
Snap.
I know, this is horrible, but everything has changed now, so it's okay. But I was like, I guess I didn't understand what graphic design was. So I was just like, I didn't understand it. I'm like, you're not drawing, you're not illustrating. I don't get it. But then after the class, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, graphic design impacts everybody, and they don't even realize it. Like, I didn't realize it. But it takes a lot of time to make something that will catch people's eye. So now I love graphic design, and I think it's awesome, and I think more people should appreciate it, like how I didn't before. But but now I do.
So you're just telling people get woke.
Yeah,
to the whole
basically.
graphic design situation.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Wake up.
Just
wake up people. Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
So is there, like, in that class, was there, like, what about it? Like, what helped that transition along? Like, what was there looking at logos? Or, like, what about, does that make sense what I'm trying to
Yeah.
ask? What
like
about
what about
it
the class
made
that
it a
changed
thing? Yeah.
changed my mind
Yeah.
about everything. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, like what you said, the logos, because it does kind of incorporate illustration a little bit. So that's probably what got me into it. And then my dad actually also helped me a lot because he does graphic design work. And he helped me realize that graphic design is absolutely a legit art form. And from
And
there,
oftentimes a better paying one than strictly being an artist.
Yeah.
Right, you can actually
exactly.
definitely get a 9-to-5 job in graphic design.
yeah, yes. I mean, that definitely helps too. But yeah, so, and then looking at typography, I thought was really interesting when we did that. We had to make a poster with a quote and trying to figure out what looks best with the words. Like, I never realized that took so much thought. I don't know. And doing things like infographics and yeah, the projects just really helped me realize that graphic design is really fun. So
It's a really interesting point because we sit down with we have started sitting down with the new hires, anybody that gets hired for the organization as a marketing department, talking about what we do. One of the things we ask people is, like, what brands do you like? And it's amazing to me how many people are like, well, I don't know what brands I like. Like, what does that even mean?
yeah,
But they have like, these people are loyal to certain brands, but it's so ingrained and, like, you wouldn't even think about it. And I think a huge part of that is that design, right?
Exactly.
That the logo design, the branding, the, whatever. It's just it's, I don't know how to, like, it's there, but it's not. Like, if you're not aware of it,
right.
you just are drawn to it without realizing that's the thing that's
Right.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about it, is that you don't realize that you're attracted to it for whatever reason, but you are. It's just how it is.
I think a lot of people don't until you really have a conversation about it. And even then, sometimes, like, we'll have that conversation, and you can tell because of what that whole meeting is with the new hires, like, we don't have time to really really have them examine it so that they understand it when they walk away, right, to the level that we would love them to. But people don't really think about the fact that everything about a brand works together to create an emotion for you. So, a well done logo, when you see, like, whatever your association. We always talk about Nike. We always end up bringing that up in that conversation because people like that is something that we can say it and people have a thought about it, right?
Yeah.
But people don't realize until you point it out to them, like all we had to say was Nike, and you saw the swoosh, and you know, like a couple of the maybe ads played in your head, and you had an emotional reaction to it,
Picture
positive,
of shoes.
Yeah.
positive or negative. And that's what, like, so just understand that everything that went through your head when we tried to walk you through, like, think about Nike, think about how you feel about it, blah, 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 blah. When you just see the swoosh, all of that happens in a millisecond in your brain. And you make all of those connections. And that really speaks to the power of well done design and then everything that supports it from the perspective of their brand.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How about I just get really upset about people not understanding marketing? There's nothing that non-marketing people love more than me yelling at them for not understanding marketing. It's a favorite, I think, for basically everyone. Well, ask my husband. He will tell you that he really enjoys this conversation.
Oh, man. We're just going to have to mention him in every episode so that he's forced to listen to the podcast. And, what is it this time?
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't worked so far, but
Yeah.
we could maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll call him up. Doc.
Come on, buddy. What are you doing?
So,
That's my bullet point. What are you doing?
I know it is. I know it's your bullet point.
You've gone
okay.
rogue.
Okay. Go
I'm
ahead.
formulating a question ahead. Did you know, fun fact, that sometimes when we're talking, when we're doing the podcast, when I go off on a tangent, I actually have two gears going at the same time. And one gear is like, I'm stalling. These are all things I'm saying. And the other gear is like, this is the next thing I'm going to ask. Do you know that? Not this time. I don't know what I'm going to ask now. But sometimes that's what's happening. It's amazing.
It's a good thing we don't have a smoke detector down here.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. That's the magic of my nonlinear little brain. So you started with drawing. Drawing.
The irony of that whole bit was you doing exactly that.
What? Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So you started with drawing, which is hard to say.
Drawing.
Drawing.
Yes.
I think one of the things I think that's interesting about that is that when we
Drawing or the word or talking
just the fact
about
that
it?
she started with it, because
Okay.
I have a thought, if you don't mind, sir.
Gosh, Vince.
Right.
Yeah,
You
the
see what
heck?
this is like. You get it.
I get it.
You get me.
Yep.
This is why she had to start yelling at me.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
My little minion. One of the things that's interesting to me about the fact that you started with drawing is that when we interviewed Ben, he didn't draw. He doesn't think he can draw very well.
Right.
So he is like a kick butt graphic designer, but if you asked him to draw something, he'd be like, "Nah, I really can't draw."
Sure.
And I just think, and it's cool to know that because I think that there are people that have the brain makeup to make something, to really, clearly, because Ben is this guy, to be able to put something together that's really, like, hits all of those emotional triggers and does everything it's supposed to do, but wouldn't be able to take a pen or a pencil or a set of markers and do that on paper. Mm-hmm. They need that technology, right?
Yeah.
And those things together to make it happen. And so, do you still draw a lot?
I do, yeah. So I am still looking into doing illustration stuff. So graphic design and illustration are definitely my top art choices, I guess, if you want to say that. I don't know.
As I recall, I was told illustration is your jam.
It is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is a direct quote.
Yes.
Illustration is my jam.
Is my jam.
Yeah.
That should be the quote that we put on the art.
Yes.
Illustration is
Yeah.
my jam. Look how excited you are.
Yes.
It almost made you forget that you're going to have to illustrate a picture of
Oh
yourself.
my
Right.
gosh.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have had like a jelly container that for her picture.
Having
Oh,
her
right,
holding a
Yes.
just thing of jelly and have it say,
That would be so perfect. Oh my gosh.
okay.
Man.
You shouldn't encourage me like that.
Okay, but it would be great.
Anyway, illustration is your jam.
Yes. Yes.
That's where
Back.
we were. So you draw a lot still.
Yes.
Do you do not graphic design-y drawing? Like, do you just?
I mean, do I do like traditional stuff?
Yeah, just for yourself. Do you put on a beret?
Yes.
Oh.
And
Every
just get
time.
all,
Yeah.
and pull out your
Yep.
sketch pad and get all emo.
Yes, I have to do that every time I draw.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, and then you people who ask you what you're doing, you're like, leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Gosh, you don't understand me. Yes.
Oh, I love you so much, Kylie.
I don't do as much traditional art anymore, so that's definitely what I started with. I actually started with art markers, so like Copic markers.
What now?
Copic markers. They're these fancy art markers. They blend really well. It's kind of like watercolor almost.
Okay.
Get that effect.
Okay. So they're like they are not maybe comparable to the Crayola markers I have.
Yeah.
I don't even think I have Crayola markers, to be honest with you. It's whatever the cheaper brand is. But
Yeah,
I do
it's
have
like the
markers.
Rose Arts or something.
I
Yes.
probably
yeah.
have a whole set of Rose
Yep.
Art markers. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I started with markers, and then I went into the digital artwork. So I started drawing on my iPad, and I was like really bad. It was horrible, but I really enjoy it now. So I don't use my markers as much anymore, but I've been doing lots of digital artwork. And I think that's also what started me with graphic design too, because I moved into the digital media.
And you have that little glove.
Yeah, I have my fancy glove.
Yeah. That you
Yes.
can use on your. It scared me. Because I thought she hurt her hand, like she's drawing, and I walk in and she has the little glove on her
yeah.
hand, and I was worried that she had hurt herself.
Our illustration project caused her carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried about that. Or, to be honest with you, don't tell her I said this, but listen. I was like, oh my gosh, if she hurt her hand and we need her to draw this picture right now, what are we going to do? Isn't that terrible?
Deadlines, Kylie. Do you know about
Come on, get it
deadlines?
together.
Push through it. We know it
cutthroat
hurts
in the
it's because
agency
it's
world.
art.
Beauty is pain.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay.
So can people see the art that you have?
Yes.
I know that
I'm
was a
pulling
total
up my
setup.
phone.
That was
I'm pulling up
You're
my
going to
phone.
pull up your phone right now?
right
Yeah.
now, right here, right now.
Oh,
Yep.
you creep.
It's Kgans24.
Okay. To be sure, I tried to find you,
You did.
and I could not find you
Oh.
with just your name. Okay, hold on. Search. Give it to me again.
Kgans24. KGANTS 24.
24.
And Kate
There you
Gantz
are.
is your rapper name, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
I've
All
got
right.
another profile. All right. Yeah.
It's just your rap.
Yes. Illustration is my jam is a title of one of my songs. So
good.
look out for
Yeah,
that.
no, I think
guys.
that's your album.
That's the
Oh,
album
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who did the cover art for that?
I did.
Oh,
Yes. It worked out.
Okay. Follow. Yes.
You do know you don't have to say that out loud to people, right? Is that what you do when you follow people on social media? You walk
Just, like,
up to them?
follow.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, I find them.
follow.
And then I just literally follow them around
Yeah.
the rest of the day.
I don't understand social media very well. It's not how this works.
What is delightful about your account, as I scroll through, is it is going
I
to
see?
fit.
Wait, go back.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Very nicely into the rest of our discussion. Now I lost it. Wait.
I can't work under these conditions.
It's ridiculous. Okay, go back. This is riveting radio, people.
It is. It is.
Okay, there you go. So, should I pick a
For the
favorite?
listener, he almost handed me his phone, and then he changed his
Almost.
mind.
I should probably point one out because, I mean, people can go find it themselves. But, okay. So you have a couple recent ones
Give it here.
of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So I'll have to go back and look at that in more detail, but that's what stood out to me right away. Did I finish what I was saying before? I don't remember. Your feed directly. Oh, I realized what I was about to say. Your feed directly feeds into what we're about to talk
Boo,
about.
his.
Nice.
There's also the
I need to
pics.
take my glasses off. This is so good. Right in there.
There's also you have the picture of Spider-Man, which you got as a print
Yes.
for Ben
Yeah.
for Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that in there as I was scrolling through. So go while Sue looks at that. I will say, go follow her on Instagram.
Yes. Go
We'll
follow
leave
me,
a
guys.
we'll leave a link. We'll say this again later, but we'll leave a link down below.
Yeah.
For the people who can't see you at the moment, Sue.
She has the most amazing picture of Thor, Odin's son,
Bro Thor.
bro Thor.
Yes.
I guess technically he's not Thor, Odin's son there because he has an eye. So I don't know when that's a level of nerdiness people shouldn't know that I am responsible for. Oh my gosh, that one's so good. Did you see that movie? You didn't.
No.
Oh, it's so
That's
good.
from Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yes, yeah. The animation in that was so beautiful. Oh my gosh.
It blew my mind.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay, it's not riveting radio for me to scroll through your Instagram feed on his phone,
It's
but
the
I
most riveting.
kind of
Yeah.
can't help it.
Yeah, or is it the most
It
riveting?
is.
So
if I were,
while you finish that up, Sue, before I move on to the last part of my notes for the show, do you have any other questions or anything else
I have,
before we get
now that I'm looking at
marginally
this, I have
off
so many
topic?
questions. I have a million questions. There's Little Lovegood.
You must be getting down to like the really old
Yeah.
artwork. You should stop now.
I've scrolled
Stop
pretty hard.
now. Oh,
I've
no.
scrolled pretty far now, and
It's gonna get bad.
I'm quite charmed.
Or is it
every
just going
way.
to get better?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to marry him someday.
Oh, for sure.
Don't
Yeah.
tell my husband that, but
Okay.
he's the right age and everything. So. Here's your phone back. That's my third husband right there in your hand.
Bumblebee cucumber?
Bumblebee,
it's better
Bumblebee
than-
Cabbage Patch.
Yeah,
oh,
Benedict
that's what it
Cabbage
is.
Patch. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So here we are. We're moving on now.
We're moving
I'm done.
on now?
I'm gonna have to
Okay.
look through. I'm gonna look through the oldest stuff too.
Oh
Okay.
no! Don't do
Be
that.
like-
Don't do that to yourself.
So many emo pictures
No.
of anime characters.
How do you know? Oh my gosh.
So we can't. Our conversation with you would be incomplete without at least dabbling in all of our favorite nerdiness,
Dipping our toes.
dipping or
Yes.
at least our ankles.
That's more. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Dipping. Okay.
that's the point.
Up to our
That's the
ankles.
point I'm
Okay.
making.
Ankles, yeah,
It may be more than just our toes.
Okay.
So, there were, I remember, and I don't remember which ones. So I'm going to rapid fire a few at you again. But when you first started, back in October, apparently. Now that I remember that,
Yeah.
we like to grill our new department friends with just some get to know you questions.
very important
very,
questions.
The
very
most
important.
questions.
The questions
Yeah.
by which we gauge everything about you until
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The,
death do us part.
the questions that are the answer to what is the meaning of life, universe, and
Right.
everything. So, a few of them, and I don't remember your answers either, so that is great. So, in quick succession, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
I didn't even really have to ask
Yeah,
after
not
scrolling
really.
through
Yeah.
your feed. It was
Yeah.
heavy on the
On the
Marvel.
Yep.
Yes. So, another question which we have discussed at length on the podcast reference our life lessons from the Avengers. Was that the title? Yes, I believe so. In the Marvel universe, then, Iron Man or Captain America?
That's such a hard question, though.
I know it's complicated, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hard. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Captain America. I think. Yeah. You seem disappointed.
I used to be Team Captain America.
What happened? Did that change?
I think with not Endgame. I'm totally blanking on the name of the movie. What was the second one?
Endgame.
Oh, it was Endgame. Oh, I was thinking that was the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind blank.
You're losing
Sorry
it,
about that.
man.
It's been gone.
Don't spoil Endgame for people. There are still people who need to watch it.
What? If you haven't
the look
watched
on your
Endgame
face.
by
The
now,
look on your face was amazing.
you deserve to have
That
it
was
spoiled.
everything I needed out of that.
You
Thank
deserve to have it spoiled.
I appreciate you.
Did we recap Endgame on the podcast?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the reason I flip flopped to Team Iron Man was his story arc, his character arc was ended in a much better spot, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Can
That's
I just tell you? Here's what I remember, Kylie. We had this discussion on the podcast. We talked about Marvel things.
Mm-hmm.
The point that I made to Vince, now I don't remember if it was on the podcast or if I've just made it out loud. It doesn't matter. Was that Tony Stark's character, he had the most character development
Oh yeah.
of any character.
Yeah.
Captain America was Captain America was Captain America, and he's always the same person.
Oh, yep. All
Well,
the time.
he may have taken a downward arc,
He just
in my opinion.
he didn't, but Tony Stark improved himself immeasurably.
Yeah.
But maybe
Yeah.
also Professor Hulk, but that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing.
Whole other
He
thing,
just
yeah.
is more mentally stable. That's a different
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah. So,
sorry.
yeah. So I used to be Team Captain America. And
Yeah.
I've
And then
now
you-
flip flopped.
You turn at the dark side. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Now you are now you're two against one right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Very cautious what you're doing.
I know. this
And
is
also
bad.
my third husband. Bumblebee Cumberbatch. But I was trying to think of another one.
Cumberbund?
Bumblebutt Cumberbund is. Yes, he'd be very upset. He wouldn't.
Yes.
It's fine.
No.
We'll get along just fine.
Okay.
We'll have a nice time together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not just Marvel, big, broad, everything. Like, who, if you had to pick a top favorite fictional character, or a top 2 or 3 if you can't narrow it down to just one?
Yeah, I don't think I could do just one. That would be impossible. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it, or it's not super popular, but I really love Kingdom Hearts with a passion. That you guys have blank faces.
We had that video game. I don't remember what for.
I think I've
A
seen
long
the
time
cover
ago.
of it.
But I am confident what it looks like right now and what you're talking about is not the same thing.
That's okay. Yeah, I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts so much. So my favorite character is probably Sora, and then from other things, my favorite Marvel character is Spider-Man for sure. And
Who's your Spider-Man?
who's my Spider-Man?
The actor?
Oh,
Yeah.
Are we
Oh,
talking?
the actor?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I gotta go with Tom Holland. Yeah.
You would.
I know I would.
So would I, for whatever that's worth.
Oh, thanks, Vince. Okay, good. Yeah. And another favorite character? I'm going to go with Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter because she's great.
You've got a Luna Lovegood vibe,
Oh,
only
really?
much more put together.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's a really nice compliment,
Thank
actually.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's blushing now.
Yeah, yeah.
She's a lovely person, Luna Lovegood. I like Luna.
She is. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got that, except she just is a little more.
For the listening audience, Sue just tapped her forehead in a manner that meant mentally there,
Yeah.
less flighty. I don't know. I'm trying to interpret
Yeah.
what
less
you're laying
flighty,
down.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she went through some stuff.
Okay.
Luna
She
Lovegood.
did. Yeah.
They all did. Anyway, those poor kids. Let's not talk about Harry Potter.
Well, you are notoriously not flighty, Kylie.
Okay.
As I've pointed out on
Yeah,
many occasions
yes,
where
many times.
you have not had school and then you have decided to come to work
In the morning.
in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if
Like
you go
a
in the
crazy person.
Who does that?
if you go in the morning, then you get done earlier. So I mean,
Also,
I don't know.
if you go to work at the same time, you could sleep until 2:00 in the afternoon.
that's true. I do love
That's my
sleeping in,
logic.
but
That's how I would have approached that in high school.
yeah.
So, one more. You dropped a bombshell on me the other day.
I did.
And I purposely didn't pursue it in the office because I wanted to talk about it here
Oh
on the
gosh.
podcast.
I'm trying to remember what I said now.
What you said was, I started watching Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did.
How far have you gotten?
I finished the first one now, and I started the second one.
Okay.
So,
How long did it take you to finish the first one?
like 2 nights. I started the first one really late, so I didn't get to finish it all. I would have.
Okay.
But I was like, I need to go to bed. I have school. So, yeah.
I'm not flighty. I'm responsible.
Responsible young woman.
Yeah, again, I don't understand your life choices.
It's not.
But if I start a movie, I gotta finish it. So, but yeah. So then I asked you a question. This is referencing my pre-intro comment.
Printro.
So no. So I asked you, "Oh, are you watching the extended edition?"
And I was like, what?
I just stopped right there. I'm like, because in our household we have a saying that is it's more of a way of life, and that is, as I said, friends don't let friends watch the non-extended edition. The ending to that is of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm assuming what you're watching is the theatrical release.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Not if, but when you are so inclined, you are welcome to borrow our extended edition.
Okay, great. I know where to go. Yeah.
When you have 15 hours just to kill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just.
So the next time you don't have school, don't come to work. Watch the
Watch-
extended
yep.
edition.
All right. Okay. That's my plan.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll probably still come to work. But, you know,
So what are your thoughts so far?
I really like it. I mean, I think it's
That
pretty
is
cool.
the right answer.
Yeah.
We can still be friends.
Okay.
We will
good.
accept that. Yes.
Great. I don't know. I feel like there's lots of aspects that are similar to Harry Potter, so that's probably why I really enjoy it. But yeah.
Very cool. Do we have any other nerdliness that we need to get out?
I don't think so. I think that kind of covers it. I'm walking away with a little bit of disappointment. I mean, the whole Iron Man versus
Oh,
Captain
yeah.
America thing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
and
guys.
I just
Well,
don't.
I can respect your position because
I can't.
I've been there.
You've been there, you know.
I was
You
Iron Man
understand?
the whole way, and just no.
Is now a good time to remind you of the pin you popped into Einstein earlier?
It would be a good time, except that now I think I should save it.
Oh,
Yeah, now I think I should save it for another
episode.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So that brings us
keep
to
that as a perma-pin.
Ooh,
For the moment.
Ouch. Poor guy. That brings us to creative soup, the part of the show where we toss some. I can't read or talk or anything. The part of the show where Vince can't talk anymore. The part of the show where we toss something awesome. Toss something awesome. That's a lot of the same sound. That's where I got tripped up.
Toss.
Toss something awesome
Yep.
into your creative soup. Who wants to go first?
I think Kylie, as our guest, should go first if
I
she's
should go
prepared for it.
first. I was thinking about this ever since you told me I had to think of something awesome. And there's so many things, so I don't know. My first thought was Baby Yoda is awesome.
Baby Yoda is
But
awesome.
also it sounds
Reference your Instagram account for a lovely illustration or two,
yes,
maybe more to come.
probably, yeah. So but it sounds weird if you say we're gonna toss Baby Yoda into the pot of awesomeness.
Yeah, don't do that.
That just sounds
That's not nice.
bad.
He's very, and also he'll just levitate. He'll force
Yeah.
he'll just-
levitate right out of there.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Maybe-
he'll pass out and he'll sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
we need him in the bottom of the pot so he can force levitate all of the
All
other great
awesomeness?
things
Right.
in the pot.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
But then it exhausts him.
Mhm.
Poor little
Yeah,
baby
and
Yoda.
then like you said, he's gonna have to take a
We
nap,
would exhaust him.
Yeah. Yeah.
carrying all that awesomeness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think have you heard the theory that he's evil?
I have not.
Yeah.
They
I
think
think it
he's
might
evil?
literally only be my husband who thinks that that's a theory. But he keeps bringing it up. No, I'm telling you, he's evil. No, I'm telling you, we're going to find out he's evil.
He is.
Shut
And
your
then-
mouth.
And then
Shut
Yoda's
your-
gonna have a big character arc.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Can't deal with it. You want to go next?
Sure.
Do you have notes on yours?
I do have
Oh, good
notes.
for you.
I've been trying this whole being ready thing.
It's wonderful.
So
I
far,
feel
it's-
like I haven't been ready for anything for maybe weeks. So,
well,
you know,
that's okay.
okay.
No shade here, friend.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this one, I re-engaged with something today, earlier this morning.
Wow.
So this is a thing we've. Maybe we've talked about it on the podcast. We've certainly talked about it in our department in our careers, but a thing called a way of working called the Pomodoro technique,
Oh,
also
The tomato
known
timer.
as the tomato timer. Yep. So the idea is, are you familiar with the Pomodoro
Nope.
technique?
I've never heard of that.
So, excuse me. The idea is, rather than having a undefined amount of time to work on a thing, you set a timer for 25 minutes, and then you work on that thing in focus, with focus for 25 minutes, and then take a 5-minute break. And then 25 minutes and 5 minutes. And I think you do three or four
yeah.
focused sessions, so about 2 hours, and then you take a longer break. So let me just keep coughing all over the microphone. So the idea is that, and especially for us not flighty creative types, it's a good way to get in, kind of supercharge yourself into that flow state and give yourself a constraint. Because also, I read a quote the other day. It's somebody's law, right? That I'm trying to remember it. Work fills the amount of time it has, or something like that. So to say, if you have 8 hours to work on something, you're going to take 8 hours to work on it. If you have an hour to work on the same something, you're going to buckle down and crank through it in an hour. So it's putting that time constraint on, like, okay, I'm only going to work on this for 25 minutes, and then I'm going to stop. So it just kind of helps you get in the zone, get things done. So I recommend trying it out, the Pomodoro technique.
Nice. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
We were really good about that for a while.
Yeah.
We were really
I did
on
like
that
one
train.
cycle this morning, like
Yeah.
4:25, the 5-minute break, and then the longer break. My morning was way more productive than my afternoon.
You got so much done.
I
I
was-
came back to so many things that yeah.
And then, not unlike Baby Yoda, I had to take a nap.
Then you had to take a nap.
Very
'Cause you
exhausted.
used all of the
Works.
force.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So can I sneak in a second one?
I don't know. Sure, why not?
Okay. Just because
It's our podcast. We can do what we want.
yeah, because in the last time we recorded, we were talking about the fact that my awesome thing was I was going to go and see a movie, and called Jojo Rabbit,
Oh yeah.
and we went and saw it, and it was amazing, and what I think is really cool, and I'm going to personally recommend it. It is a little irreverent, so you can't really like. If you buy tickets to it and go to it, you can't be like, "Ooh, I'm offended by this." Don't be offended. It's a little irreverent. But the director, Taika Waititi, won an Oscar for the best adapted screenplay for that movie this weekend. And he is the first Indigenous person to win an Oscar. And I think that's cool. So, and it was Oscar worthy. So there.
Congratulations, Taika.
I'm sure he's listening,
Yeah,
which
yes.
is cool.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
Now
send
I've-
we'll send it to him.
Yeah.
I'll just tweet at him.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, yeah, I totally listened to your podcast already. It's pretty great.
He's like, when am I coming on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, guys.
That would be such a dream come true for me. That'd be amazing.
That'd be one of those shows where it's just like nothing happening.
You're too young to remember on Saturday Night Live, there used to be a sketch. So Chris Farley, who was on Saturday Night Live, neither one of you know who he is anymore because he, way before you were even born, he passed away. He died really young. But he was this big guy, and he was a really dynamic, like very loud. Oh, no, Chris Farley does Matt Foley, motivational speaker. That's Chris Farley. You've seen that one.
Oh yeah,
In the
one you
van
showed
down by the
me.
river.
Yeah.
That's Chris Farley.
Okay.
But he also used to do another one where he would interview people, and like he would have. I'm trying to think of somebody he actually had on there, but it like he would have Al Pacino on there, and he'd be like, "You remember that time when?" I can't even do it. Remember the time when you were in The Godfather and you got and then you yelled and whatever, and the Al Pacino would be like, yeah, I remember that. That was awesome. And that would be his interview. So
That would be our interview.
That would be my interview with Taika Waititi. Remember that time you made Jojo Rabbit and then you won an Oscar? That was awesome.
That would be amazing.
Remember the time you made Thor 3?
That was awesome. That was so cool. Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my second one
Second one.
is actually, technically, this is very self-serving. So,
Aren't they all?
yeah. I want to put out the call on this episode with the hopes that if we haven't found somebody for the episode that I'm trying to put together, that we will find somebody.
Oh, okay.
There are people in the world that don't have internal monologues. And I am fascinated by this beyond reasonable comprehension. I can't even deal with it. I am so thrilled by the idea that there are people out there who do not hear their own voices in their heads all of the time, and they don't have a voice that narrates everything that they're doing. And so we want to find those people. So I'll include a link to an article. I actually found an article that sort of describes it much better than I'm describing it, because I want to be able to share that out with the staff and stuff here to see if there's anybody that fits that. Because when I've talked to people, they're like, I don't understand what you're saying or how that even works. And then I'm inevitably I go, I know, right? So I will share that out. But this is to say, if you are someone who is listening to this and you do not have an internal monologue, you have to definitely get in touch with us because we want to talk to you so much. Okay.
What if you could record your inner monologue?
You wouldn't like
Yeah, that
any
would be
of
bad.
it. That'd be terrible. No.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. That'd be. But I do think there are things. I don't want to go. I want to cut us off. But as I was thinking about, do I have an internal monologue and all of this stuff, I realized there are things that I think that make me laugh. And then I think to myself, maybe somebody should know that I said and I always that's one of my things where I don't post on Twitter very much at all. But if I post something that is just not a retweet, you can virtually guarantee it's because that came into my head. And I'm like, at least that is funny enough to me that it can't just stay in my head. And there's
You're
nobody
like,
here.
Someone needs to know about this.
Somebody needs to know how clever I am.
What will happen to me is that I will have this entire conversation in my head, and then I will stumble upon a punchline or something that's actually makes me start laughing, and then my wife or whoever's with me be like, what's so funny? And it's like, you had to be there. I can't just explain that entire conversation that went on in my head to give you the context for why I made myself laugh.
But just know that I'm
Just know.
hilarious.
Just
I would
know,
comment
It
yes.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want the opposite of that person.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So it is time to officially wrap up.
But first,
What? You have more to say?
But first,
Wait, there's more.
one more thing I realized as you were talking about your first awesome thing.
Yes.
The realization hit me that you've been working here longer than Kylie's been alive.
Yeah. What year were you born?
2001.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's it. That's all. That's the end.
I mean, but okay. Yeah. What you gonna do? Here I am.
Here we are.
I previously mentioned to you I'm like a cockroach. You cannot get rid of me. Yeah.
I
my
wasn't
spirit
saying it was a
animal.
bad thing.
Yeah. It hurts a little. It's fine. I remember the first time.
There was a lot less yelling involved in your response. So, good job being restrained.
Yeah.
And
I just remember the very first time. How did it even come up? Oh, you made a joke. When we were first working together, you made a joke when I was leaving, it was a Friday afternoon, and I was leaving. We were working in the Gopher Den, right, with all kinds of other people. And I got up to go, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go, Vince. And Vince turns around. Do you remember this?
I probably
He
will
turns
when you
around
say
and
it.
he goes, "You're seeing someone else, aren't you?"
What?
And it just was so funny to me. I said, "Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but I have been for 20 years. Where were you 20 years ago?" And Misty stood up from the other side. She was on the other side. She went, "He was 6." Yeah.
That's funny.
So I'm kind of used to it at this point.
Sounds like a thing I would say. I don't
Yeah.
remember that at all.
Oh, it
but-
was so funny to me. And I think the reason I never forgot it is the way she popped, she was listening.
Yeah. That's why they called it the Gopher Den.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes me think of another story, but we'll have to say that for another time.
Okay. Now is it
Okay.
time to wrap up?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I don't.
Okay. Then we can wrap up.
Then
okay,
for real.
it's official, guys.
Okay, we're calling it. So, as usual, links below. So, we're going to link off to Kylie's Instagram page so you can see her stuff. scroll all the way back so you can see all of the emo anime
Or
characters.
don't do that. Just don't do that, guys.
We'll include that article about people who don't have internal monologues, just so people can read that. If you, and also P.S. if you want to be part of that episode, you can go visit our podcast on Anchor and you can leave us a message. So even if you can't, if you're listening to this, if you're that guy that listens in Sweden.
Oh, yeah. Talk to us.
I assume because you learned English, if you're the guy, and we didn't learn Swedish, so leave it in English. You can leave a comment for us, and then
We'll
include
come
that.
visit, and you can be on the show.
You're making a lot of promises, right? But okay. Speaking of Anchor, this is your reminder that you can find us on anchor.fm, iTunes, or visit the blog on the exclamation QSO. It's exclamation QSO/blog is where these are for the moment. And also, if you are listening to this fully out of context and are going to go to another device to find us, Awesomology doesn't have any in it. I only bring this up because someone sent me a link to a podcast that was the Awesomology podcast and had a whole a whole season about MMA fighting.
Oh.
So that is
Wow.
not us.
Oh.
We're going to do a lot less MMA. I can't even say MMA, which is why we're not doing it.
Maybe we're doing all of the MMA.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we're doing MMA
MMA
ASMR.
ASMR. How did I know that's true?
It's just punches landing, kicks. Yeah. It's
Okay.
great radio. Thank you, Kylie, for joining us on the show. I hope it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to
It
be.
was great.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can tell us later how bad it was because I know you're just trying to make us feel good.
Oh yeah, yep. Later, the truth will come out.
Yell it
Later,
out.
it'll be all the yelling again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, listeners, friends, for tuning in. This is Sue and Vince, reminding you that life's awesome if you make it awesome. We'll see you next time.